In this video, we will look at transformation of graph. So first, we need to know graph of some basic function. So let's start with the first function, square function, or y is equals to x squared. So this is the graph for square function, which is y is equals to x squared. The second graph, absolute value function, or y is equals to modulus of x. So the graph is in the V shape. And finally, square root function, y is equals to square root of x. And this is the graph, y is equals to square root of x. So from this basic function, we will expand to another function by using transformation techniques. Next, we look at translation up and down. For the first column is operation on y is equals to fx. The second column is the new equation. And the third column is the geometric effects, which is the geometric effects. Let's look at if we add c to the function of fx. So y is equals to fx plus c. So what happened to the graph is the graph will we will translate the graph up to c unit. Let's look at example. Let's say example fx is equals to x squared. This is the graph of basic function, quadratic function. So this is the graph. So when fx plus 2, so when fx is equals to x squared plus 2, the function of x squared plus 2. So what will happen to the graph is the graph will move up for 2 unit from here. Before this is 0, because move up for 2 unit, now this point will become 2. Same go to B. Let's say subtract c from fx. So y, the new equation is y is equals to fx minus c. So what happened to the graph is translate the graph down to c unit. For example, let's say we're using the same example, fx is equals to x squared. This is the quadratic function. So the point here is 0. Since fx is equals to x squared minus 2, so the graph will move down for 2 unit. So the new point here is negative 2. Next, we look at translation for left and right. So now is add c to fx. You can see that from here, y is equal to fx plus c. The previous example is y is equals to fx plus c. This is different. So this is in this example, in this y is equals to f in the bracket x plus c. For the previous example is y is equals to fx plus c. So you can notice that that's the difference. So what will happen is we will translate the graph to the left for c unit. So how are we going to know this translate to the left or right? So what we're going to do is we will let the bracket, the variable in the bracket x plus c equals to 0. So what happened is x is equals to negative c. Since it's negative, so the graph will translate to the left hand side. Let's look at the example. So for example, fx is equals to x squared. Again, this is the graph. So when fx is equals to x plus 2 squared. So what we do is we let the bracket, which is x plus 2, equals to 0. So x is equals to negative 2. So since this is negative 2, so it will move to the left hand side. So you can see here, before this is the point, is at 0. Now move left for 2 unit. So it will move to the left for 2 unit. Now will become negative 2. So we can find this point. we can find the intersection by this is y-axis. So at y-axis, x will be equals to 0. So what happened here is fx is equals to 0 plus 2 squared, which is equals to 4. So the intersection here is 4. So don't get confused. So don't get confused with this one. The previous example is fx. So the previous example, so I write it on here, is fx is equals to x squared plus 2. You can see that the difference is obvious. So this one is move up for 2 units. Whereas in this example is move to the left for 2 units. So don't get confused with these two examples. So one is x plus 2 squared. Another one is fx is equals to x squared plus 2. We move on to D. Next, we look at this example. Let's say subtract c from x. So you can see the new equation will become y is equals to f in the bracket x minus c. So what happened is translate the graph to the right. I think this is right for C unit. So translate the graph to the right for C unit. So how we're going to know is translate to the right? Again, we let x minus c is equals to 0. X is equals to positive c. So for positive, is moving to the right hand side. So because of the positive. So let's look at this example. Fx is equals to x squared again. So this is the point, which is at the origin. So now the new equation is fx is equals to x minus 2 squared. So what we're going to do here is we let x minus 2 is equals to 0. X is equals to positive 2. So this is right hand side. So from this point, our graph will move to the right for 2 units. So from 0, now will become 2. Again, we can find the y intersection at y-axis. X is equals to 0. So our fx is equals to 0 minus 2 squared. So negative 2 squared is positive 4. So here actually the y-intercept is 4. So again, don't confuse with fx is equals to x squared minus 2. So if x squared minus 2, this is moved down for 2 units.